Hey guys, welcome back to game number 2 between New Star Hostos Freaky and Supreme Foe You in the Korean Weekly. Supreme lost the last game after going for a 10 pull, but it wasn't easy for Freaky. That was a really impressive hold for him and just showing the power of those queens with the extra range against Banelings. I think without that, Freaky may have not held that. Queens are just so good against Banelings now in the early stages of the game just because of that range increase. Banelings can't really just run past two queens. The queens always manage to pick off a few of them, and a few Banelings in the early game means all the much, especially when the Zerg's on one base. But it's another game on ESV Frigid Pass, the third time I've cast this map, and I have no clue what to say. There is apparently forced vertical spawns. I'm gonna be assuming. I don't think you could both spawn on like the south or the north side, because look at the time of that overlord. In a ZVZ, that would be ridiculous. You'd be like on the same screen as your hatch, and if your overlord's here, you could actually shake hands. And they'd be like, oh, you went a 6 pool? LOL, I scouted it at 8 supply and can go with an 8 pool and just direct counter it. So I don't think you can both spawn on the same position, but I don't know if the players know that. They've always scouted close positions, so maybe they don't know that. Maybe it is possible, and that would just be a really funny game when the Zerg scouts his opponent before the first minute in a ZVZ and, well, before the second minute in anything else. We'll see exactly what ends up happening. Freaky last game did try to go for a hatch first and did fend off the early pool of Supreme. He's going to be doing the same thing in this game, saying, that did not phase me, sir. But Supreme is saying, okay, you survived my cheese. You can't survive against my macro, but of course you can still do a Ling all-in after this hatch because hatches are just production facilities for the Zerg. So at any time in any game, they can flip a switch and say, I'm all in, guys. And unlike Terrans, they don't have to pull the SCVs. They just start using all their larvae as units. And also, ZVZ, a little bit of an odd matchup because it is a game of larva management and drone chicken. You kind of get a scout on your opponent by their larva management. If they have a lot of larva, chances are they're going to be building a lot of lings immediately. And yes, that doesn't count for the lower leagues because they can be supply capped, or a lot of roaches. That's kind of how you tell if you do end up scouting them early on. Then you could do that. And something interesting, both these players are going hatch first, and neither of them sending out a drone scout. So that I find really interesting because a lot of times when you go hatch first, anything below 8 supply is like an insta-loss, but it is a 4-player map, it is a relatively big map, so maybe that's why they're just playing really safe. You can see the big drone transfer down to that natural. Both players are mining gas 2460 and 2464, so at the same exact time, pretty much. Freaky has just a slightly later gas, but that's not going to make a difference. If there was an advantage in this game, it would be going to Freaky, just because if you look at the larva, it's on this side of the hatch, away from the minerals. They have a little bit longer of a migration than down here. And as Stefano would say in an interview a long time ago, if he's ever in this situation in a ZVZ, he doesn't play aggressive. He plays defensive because he already knows his opponent has an advantage. I don't think this is much of an advantage, maybe like 5 minerals by the time you attack. It's so small. Maybe Stefano was making a joke, but I always find it a little bit interesting how larva always spawns on the same side no matter what. The one ling, though, is getting in, and this is a pretty darn big deal. Because now Freaky's going to know what to build, and Supreme may be in the dark. So there we go. Sees, okay, you got a Baneling's Nest, all right. Sees the gas still mining, sees how much gas has mined. So now we can compare the gas to see if anyone pulled gas off. 2280, 2284. So now Freaky knows his opponent is doing relatively the same exact thing. The difference is the spine crawler. We do have Supreme knowing about the spine crawler. Freaky got one early, and Supreme getting one a little bit later. So, Freaky now knows, okay, you're going Banelings, I know exactly what you're doing, but Supreme, a little bit in the dark, so now he's the one playing the game of chicken. And Freaky's right there just waiting. He's like, okay, you're going to do it. I know what you're going to do. He has a small advantage. Will he pull back? I don't know. He's just going to keep droning up for now. We can go into the units tab. 28 for Supreme, 31 for Freaky. Going into the production, though, it is all even up with 42 supply versus 44. The link count does go in favor of Supreme by quite a bit. 14, now 13 to just 2. So we do have Freaky cutting back quite a few lings. And what did that mean? It meant that maybe he got an earlier Evo chamber. Maybe that's because he got that spine crawler early on, which kind of delayed his econ a little bit. So it's the combination of getting both earlier attacks, and this one Ling is going to make his way in and going to get another scout. Seeing the double gas, can even see the timing on that. Ling's going to be going down. Did he get into that natural? I don't know. Most likely, possibly. So now he knows, okay, not going roaches, still just going lings. He does start his lair, getting another gas up right now. Actually going to be going for 3 gases, getting another spine crawler. This is telling me Freaky is going to be going with Mutaplay, relying on spine crawlers and queens for early defense. And going to get a lot of gas and just insta-switch to mutas. One Ling comes running in. He's like, you don't have it. Oh my god. Baneling hit. 3 Banelings now coming in. Spine crawler going to try to take one out. And the queen, she has to force target very well. Blocking the pathway in, and 2 Banelings go down, 2 more morphing in. Baneling does hit, but again, a Baneling does not kill a drone. Needs 2 of those. Another Baneling going down, and this Baneling will be falling as well. And that was definitely not a good trade. Going into the units, lost no workers, but that was some good scouting that Supreme did get. He knows, okay, you are on 4 gases. Your lair is relatively, well, maybe it's not early, though. At the same time, it looks like, and oh my god, he's not going to be going for mutas at all. Infestation Pit is down for Freaky. Where is that position? Back here. Did that get scouted? No, it did not. So we do have Infestation Pit out for Freaky. Supreme is getting his macro hatch right now. That is almost done for Freaky. So every building of Freaky is just a little bit earlier. But we have the transition to roaches from Supreme. And Freaky just going to go with Ling Infester. More Banelings being morphed as he sees all these Lings. And this Evo chamber not getting any upgrades. This is just for walling off. Kind of helping put the queen right here. Then, ooh, those spine crawlers are in range. Pretty nice job. Overlord or Overseer not sacrificing himself. Just going to go in, see what's happening, sees the roach one, sees it researching roach speed. And we have pathogen glands being researched. So it is Ling Infester versus Ling Bling Roach. And I think if Supreme moved out right now, it could be just lights out. 3 Infestors on the way. Banelings being morphed, only 2 spine crawlers. I have to say this is risky play by Freaky, but he does have the counterattack positioned. We do have a lot of Lings and Roaches moving out. The counterattack is going to be coming in. 2 Banelings are positioned back to defend. 1 Ling, though, tries to run up. There we go, splitting them off. Sees a lot more Banelings going to be splitting those Lings. Does a relatively good job, but here we go. The force are coming in. Lots of Banelings being morphed. That is 11 Banelings morphed in. 2 Banelings just run straight ahead. More Baneling spine crawlers are being morphed. Lings running out, but there's a lot of Banelings, and those Lings trying to come in. The queen doing some good damage. Their spine crawlers doing damage. The Infestors just about out. 2 Infestors do come out. Those Roaches are injured, and all those Banelings are clumped up. 1 big phone goes. 2 big phone goes, taking out a lot of Banelings for that 1 Infestor and some energy. 3 spine crawlers now up, getting those fungal growths on the Roaches, preventing those Roaches from moving out of range of the spine. 1 queen does go down. More Infestors. Oh no, those are the same Infestors with no energy. But the Lings are going to be cleaning up the Roaches, and he has held on, but more Roaches and Lings coming in. 30 Lings on the way for Freaky right now. That may be enough to hold on a little bit longer as these Infestors are coming, shooting off infested damage. Lots and lots of more Lings on the way to try to hold on. He needs to hold on because, well, if he doesn't, that's how you lose games. Lings are coming in, going to be surrounding these Roaches. Fungal growth goes down, helping the DPS. Roaches do fall. More Roaches coming in, but that is a lot of Lings, but the Roaches do have reinforcements. The Lings do get us around on that. Nice micro off from those Roaches. Going to be able to survive against the Lings, but taking damage to the fungal growth will be able to do a lot of damage. More stuff just storming on in. Spine Crawler is being built. We do have 5 Infestors going over into the Lost tab. It is relatively even, and by even, I mean a lot. Infested Terrans going to be going up, going in the workers kill. You can see only 2 drones, and that is killed from Freaky. And those Roaches going to get us around, going to try to target the Baneling. No, he is not. The Baneling does complete. The Lings do pull back, and now the Spine Crawlers have to target the Baneling down. They do. Foam Growth does go down on the Roaches by the Spine Crawlers. Another Foam Growth does chain, and he will clean up the Roaches yet again. 94 supply for Freaky, 77 for Supreme. And this is one magnificent game. That is a lot of Infestors now. He is getting a lot of energy. He's kind of got double the unit production because not only he's producing Lings out of his hatches, but his Infestors are producing energy, which kind of gives him extra units. Going over into the army supply, you can see Freaky is ahead in that army supply. Going into the drone count, it is even 50 to 51. Lings are getting surrounds on a few Roaches. Infestors are going to come. Fungal growths do happen. Baneling is there. Big hit off on that Baneling. No armor for those Lings, so they do not survive a Baneling hit. That is now being researched. Roaches are going to be cutting those Lings back, and it looks like Supreme is going to hold map control. He could possibly take a third base, but did that get canceled? It looks like yes. Those Lings possibly did come in and cancel. I think I saw that. I'm not positive. Ling's going to run into the middle line, pick off the 2 queens. Not pick them off, but you know what I'm saying. Try the best. Ooh, a hatch goes down. Banelings will morph right here. Try to insta-gib it, but it just did not work. Almost. Great plan by Freaky. Just did not work. I've seen that done in ZVT with burrowed Banelings on like unburrow command. Pretty cool when it does happen. Infestors in this middle line just defending in case anything, I guess, does come. The danger is the Roach burrow could come all the way down. There is no detection. Fungal growth in that Overseer. Double time with those Infestarians. Going to be picking it off. But I think Freaky should get some type. Oh no, he does have detection right there. Preventing any Roach burrow play. He's getting a lot of spine crawlers. The Overlord could go down again, but the Overlord does have speed, which allows him to possibly outrun those infested Terrans, and they may just give up and commit suicide because that is actually what they do. The third base is going up. Supreme does kind of have map control with those Roaches, but that is a lot of infestors. It looks like Freaky is playing a little bit of Destiny style. We do have Tunneling Claws on the way for Supreme, but more and more infestors and burrow finally being researched by Freaky. So many spines out to protect this third base. Lings look like they want to do a little bit of damage. And they're positioned their way in. He is very mobile. Roaches are back here. They're in position to deal with these Lings. Should not do all that much damage. Lings are going to come in, try to snipe the hatch, but the Roaches are here. But that hatch is taking a lot of damage. And oh my god, those Lings actually do take that out. And he can kind of give that. He's like, okay, look at my third base. I got all these infestors, all these fungals, and these spine crawlers. So he can save this third base. Few infested Terrans do come up. This Overlord does not know. Well, he knows about all the spines down there. And this Overlord is fungal growth, will be getting taken out. He has so much energy, he is fungling Overlords. Think about that for a second. While these Lings are looking for any Ninja Expos, been a very bad time for Supreme trying to secure this third base. Meanwhile, a Hive, I kind of wonder what 17 Infestors transitions into. Other than, like, winning games. That is a lot of Infestors and very hard to deal with. If he had, like, Overlord drops, oh, man, could he do a lot of damage to Supreme. Supreme still at that layer tech. 120 supply, though, to 139. So don't count Supreme out. He is ahead in supply. 11 more drones being produced. It is 73 for Supreme and 47 for Freaky. That is odd. Freaky has not been building drones going into this loss tab. You can see only 2 workers killed. It's not like I missed a Baneling run by, guys. He just hasn't been building drones. And this could be how you lose games. But that does mean the army supply actually not a big difference. The workers now 63 to 73. Maybe I misread that. Or he just built a lot of drones instantly. But now the worker tab is evened up. We do have Lings going in, just looking all around, trying to find when the 4th base is. And again, Infestors now out for Supreme. So, game easily could go either way if these Infestors get fungal growth. Lights out. And Infestors just holding tight. They're all near 200 energy. And this is something very scary. This is beyond a 200 army, I would say. Even though it's 72 supply, this many Infestors at full energy, when they can just burn energy to kill Overseers. Yeah, that's scary. Saying, I'm killing all your Overseers. What am I going to be doing? I'm going to be burrowing. And there's another one out going into this. It looks like, yes, there is one right here. Better not get fungled as he's burrowed, as that would easily game over because you cannot unburrow while you're fungled. And unlike going in the units tab, look at the army. 20 and... This is dangerous. Burning a lot of energy on infested Terrans. Painley's just going to come rolling in. Fungal growths are going to go off on these, I assume, and that will take out a lot of infested Terrans. But even more coming in. But he's got to be careful. If he runs out of energy, it could be a counterattack from hell. Ling's trying to run in. Roach is left back here to defend. The Infestitans just do not stop. But look at the energy on those Infestors. So low. He is possibly going to be sniping this one base. This base does not get sniped. And what did he use that energy for? Still even supplies. And the hatch does fall. Lingzo running in from the back. There's no defensive. Oh, wait. Baneling's here. Gonna be good hits if he wants to keep this hatch. Not enough. Those Lings do have that +1 armor, not +1 attack on the Banelings. So they do kind of just tank through a hit, I believe. Bone Growth's going down on Lings, but it's not enough. 2 bases do go down. Infestors down here, not much energy. But he does have a Spine Crawler wall. So this is kind of like a ZVP when all your Brood Lords get toileted. Except it's ZVZ with Infestors. Doesn't have that much in terms of army defense because, again, good army size. All these Infestors are dead weights. Big fungal growth on those Infestors. Infestitans are coming up, trying to break the Spine Crawler wall. Infestitans do come out to help, and the Infestors have gained some energy. And that is a lot of Spines doing a great job. Roach is trying to burrow in the meantime, trying to sneak past the army. That is not going to happen. Fungal growth does go down. Roach is falling 139, supply 2, 124. But the Spine Crawler wall is so good, and there's no econ for Supreme. So I have to say, GG. What a good game for ZVZ. And that is most likely the best game I've ever casted on this map, and it was ZVZ. Hope you guys enjoyed the cast. That may be it for me tonight. And, yeah, please, please, please subscribe. And also, subscribe if you have the spare money. Maybe not now because the season's almost over. I don't know if there's a coupon for ESV. But Season 4, you should subscribe to it. Get the replays. Check out their casting. They have a pretty good casting staff as well. Orb and a Deebzy. a Debsy, a Deebzy. Adabeezy. That's it. Oh my god. Sorry, Adabeezy. Do make a good duo. But anyways, take care. See you guys next time.